What's up? I just got back from a walk, so I wanted to do a little wind down stretch. So you can do this after a workout, after cardio, after going on a walk, going on a run, going on a bike, physical activity of any sort. This will help you stretch, make sure that you feel good as you go into the next part of your day, and also just help you catch your breath, relax, and make sure your body feels good and not sore for tomorrow. So grab a strap. You can use a towel, a t-shirt, a strap, or a long band, just whatever you have at the house, and find your way onto your back. You're going to take the loop or the end of the band, not the end of the band, the middle of the band, and wrap it around your foot, and then we'll just hold on to it with our hands, a nice easy grip. And then think about back flat on the ground, shoulders relaxed onto the ground, foot flexed, so toes coming to your shin, and then you just want to start sliding your toes towards the top of your mat, over your head, pulling that hamstring stretch. Think about lifting through the heel, reaching the heel up to the ceiling. Oh, here comes my kitty cat. Hey Willis. And then just make little circles, and then squeeze the plane, and then bounce it slowly forward into a stretch. We're going to start by moving, and then we'll find a good spot to sit and hold for a little bit. But your muscles are multi-dimensional, so there's so many attachment points and angles, and so it's important to move around a little bit as you stretch in order to get all of the different striations of the muscle. So we'll take it to the outside just a little bit, and then slowly start to bounce it to the middle. Maybe circle it away, pull it towards. I wish she doesn't like the camera, but I guess I'm not really taking pictures of her. All right, and then we'll go ahead and settle in. So we'll find a position that feels good. It can either be one that's not super intense or a little more intense. You never want it to be uncomfortable. So the thing with stretching is you want to get in a comfortable position, because if you start to push into discomfort too much, a little bit of discomfort is okay, but a lot of discomfort will cause your muscles to recoil and stress more and resist the stretch and the lengthening, which is not what we want. So we just want to keep it nice and easy in this one spot that feels really good, and then we'll just take a couple deep breaths and relax every exhale. Big deep breath in, think about 3 seconds in, 3 second pause, 3 second exhale, 3 second pause. And continue that cycle. If you can start to expand to 4 seconds each breath. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause, do so. As you inhale, think about creating space through your torso and the back of your leg. Think about lengthening through the back of your leg. On the exhale, think about relaxing into the stretch, just allowing your body to be comfortable in this position. Just really focus on being in your body. There may be a lot of chaos around. Right now I have the pool party club playing music behind me, and then in front of me I have a bachelor party, I assume, that's partying in the Airbnb. But it's important just to find connection to your breath, connection to your body, and just release all of that. Hone in your focus. We all could use a little bit of focus training. Just releasing the distractions, releasing the chaos, allowing your body to relax no matter what's going on around you. And then we'll slowly start to take that foot across your body. So moving nice and slow. You may have to back off the stretch because this one can be a little bit intense, especially with the straight leg. So what we want to do is we want to think about keeping that hip on the ground as long as we can. So we're on the right side right now, and try to keep that right hip on the ground as long as you can. And then wherever you get where your hip wants to come off the ground, we'll stop right there. And just hold that for a little bit. Maybe work your foot around in circles, pump it forward and back. Got cat hair on my face. I'm gonna switch my grip, I think. And then we'll slowly start to bounce it around, maybe move the heel in a little bit of circle. Try to open up that hip, really start to lubricate that joint. I had a coach I worked for that always said motion is lotion. And I think that's something that we should think about more, is that when we feel tight, motion is lotion. So going through ranges of motion to help loosen up those joints. Let's go ahead and take a little bend in the knee and then drive the heel out away, straighten the leg, bend the knee, pull it towards your chest, heel towards the butt, and press the heel out, straighten the knee. And then I'm just gonna shake that out because my hip is a little tight, so it's making my foot tingle. All right, we'll go ahead and let the hip come off the ground, the right hip come off the ground, left hip stays on the ground, both shoulders stay on the ground, and we're gonna drop that foot to the side. So right now, just cross my body. Getting a nice twist in the back. If it feels better to bend your knee, chest that out. You can bend and straighten, back and forth. Maybe rock your hips back and forth, pull out of the stretch a little bit, and then rock into the twist a little bit deeper. Whatever feels good. Maybe windshield wipe your foot. Oh my gosh, this cat's tail. There she goes. She's relaxed now. And then like we did with the straight leg, straight up and down, we're gonna find a good place where there's a good stretch, feels comfortable, whether you want to focus on your hip or you're twisting your back, your spine. Oh. Just find a position that feels easy to be in, but could use some focused relaxation. And we'll just hold that for a second. Couple big deep breaths, go back to counting your breaths. Maybe try to hit 4 seconds in, 4 second pause, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds pause. Every inhale, think about straightening your spine in the twist. Think about lengthening the spine is a better word, I guess. Expanding your rib cage, expanding your belly on all 4 sides. When you exhale, just think about relaxing into the twist. Think about relaxing your body. Maybe not deepening the stretch, but relaxing right where you are. Inhale, space. Pause and embrace the space. Exhale, relax in the space. Pause, enjoy the relaxation. And then we're going to slowly come out of that. So whatever that looks like for you, maybe you bend your leg, pull it back to the middle, shake it out a little bit. Oh, excuse me, kitty. All right. We'll shake it out a little bit, maybe bounce it around, and then we're gonna take it to the outside. So we're gonna let that leg fall to the outside. I have a wall there, which kind of helps me, honestly, because it gives me some support without having to use my arms. And I can put it in a good position, just kind of leave it. But same thing here. Experiment with bending your knee and bringing the heel to the inside of the midline of your body, knee up towards your shoulder, maybe working in little circles. Let me see if I can get more space over here. Okay. Kitty cat, what are you doing? She normally leaves me alone when I'm stretching. She just wants to be the center of attention. Look at her making biscuits. She can't help it. Ouch. But she uses her claws. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Gotta remove her. Let go. Pardon the interruption. Go to your chair, bro. Go to your chair. Right here. Ma'am. Okay. Back to the regularly scheduled programming. Hopefully you're working around in circles, bouncing it. Oh my gosh. My focus has digressed. I have my noise gate on, so I don't know if you can hear all this. Maybe that's okay. Maybe I don't have to be serious in my stretching all the time. Maybe I can laugh at their goofiness, you know? Find joy, maybe? That's an option. All right, let's find one spot for this stretch and just hang out right there. And one thing I've been forgetting to say, but it was one of my favorite ways to, oh my gosh, Willis. Okay, no biscuits. Ow. I don't know why she's such an attention whore right now. Point your toe in and out. So don't necessarily circle from your heel, but think about rotating your toe in and out. Internally rotating your hip and externally rotating your hip. Unbelievable. Willis, no biscuits. All right. I'll just find peace. And the plane, oh my gosh. Big deep breaths in. Slow exhale out. See if maybe you can expand one part of your breath to 6 seconds. Or maybe 2 parts. Keep deepening the relaxation. You can find a deeper stretch if that starts to feel good. All right, and then we'll bend to come out of that. Bring it back to the middle. And then the last one we're gonna do, you can either ditch the strap or you can use it. I prefer to maybe do a figure 4, but if you're using the strap, we'll bring the heel up to the, so if your right leg is being stretched right now, the heel to the left shoulder, knee to the right shoulder, but you're gonna push the knee away and start to open up that hip. But I prefer to do this in a figure 4 position, so bringing up the left knee, placing the right heel on the left knee, and then same thing, but grab the back of your left leg and pull your right heel and your left knee to your left shoulder. And then use your right elbow to push your right knee away from your body, and you'll feel that deep in your hip. Maybe you don't even need to push. And then what we want to try to think about is flattening the tailbone to the floor. So it's easy to kind of round your lower spine up so you can get a deep stretch, but we really want to focus on creating space of the hips and the flexion of the hips. So when we bend and not using our low back. Maybe you want to take the leg to the right or to the left and kind of windshield wiper it. And again, we're moving through these different ranges of motion and different positions to get different areas of our joints, to get different areas of our muscles. I just had sweat drip up, so that's cool. All right, go ahead and shake it out. Bounce your heels a little bit if that feels good for your knees. If it doesn't, lift your legs and shake them up. We're gonna go to the other side. So grab your strap. All right, left leg. We'll start with the same thing. So back flat on the ground. Adjust to make sure you're comfy. Oh, she's back. And then nice grip with your hands, straight leg, keep that knee straight, don't let it bend. I know those hamstrings can be tight and make you want to bend your knee, but let's keep it straight for now. Pull that toe into the shin, lift, drive the heel away from your body. And then, like I forgot to say the last time, rotate that from the hip. So try to take the toe in and out. In towards the midline, out away from the midline, and just see how that feels. And then maybe bounce a little bit to the outside, to the inside, little circles, just see what feels good. Maybe try to bend the knee, see how that feels. You may feel it. You have different locations for your hamstrings. Some of them go across your knee, and some of them are more hip. I need to fact check that. But sometimes, some of them you'll feel deeper stretch when your knee is bent, and some of them you'll feel more when the knee is straight. And I think that has to do more with your calves than it does with your hamstrings. But yeah, just play around with it, see how it feels. I think it'll be more the location of your hamstrings, less the actual different hamstrings, because I think they all go across your knee. Pretty sure about that. That's the whole thing about them, is they bend your knee. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and find a spot that feels good, and we're gonna hold it. Big deep breaths in. Again, think about lengthening through your spine as you inhale, expanding to the right and left, front and back. Relaxing as you pause in between your inhale and your exhale. Exhale, gently relax into this position. Not changing anything, just getting more comfortable right where you are. Don't try to force your inhales. Let them gently fill your lower torso, your rib cage, and your chest. All right, find a little bit of movement. We're gonna take it across. But just like last time, we're gonna go really, really slow. Make sure that our left hip stays on the ground. And then keep that foot straight. Think about reaching the heel away from your body. When we finally get to that point where we can't go any further without our hip coming off the ground, we'll stop and pause and stretch there. We'll keep the legs straight, but if you want to move it around in little circles, maybe take the toes out, toes in, rotate from the hip. Big deep breaths. I just caught myself flexing my right foot, so check in with your right side of your body, make sure everything's relaxed. Both shoulders are on the ground, both hips should try to be on the ground as best you can. Think about taking the hip away from the heel on the left side. Really stretch out that left side of the leg. And then we'll go ahead and let that left hip come off the ground, going into a little bit of a twist. And just like the last side, if you want to try to find a bend in the knee, if that feels good, gets deeper into the part of the hip that you need a little bit more love in, go ahead and do that. If straight feels good, keep it straight. This one is a little intense for me. I am still recovering from ACL surgery. I am about 9 months in, but 10 months of my left leg dragging my right leg around has definitely made it tighter. So if you're like me with some knee issues on one side or foot issues on one side, that other leg can start to compensate and carry the weight of the work. So we want to make sure that we take some time to relax that one too. And then start to strengthen the other side. So a lot of people approach workouts and strength training very symmetrically. And ever since I quit strength and conditioning, I used to be a coach, I started doing asymmetrical workouts. And I found those are really helpful in balancing my body and creating a more balanced strength. It's definitely takes some practice, but I think it should be normalized. And if you start to do more reps on one side than the other side because you feel like you need to, that's totally normal. Big deep breaths here. Find a place of stillness. Relax through your shoulders, relax through your neck and your jaw. Big deep breaths to massage your internal organs. As you inhale, allow your diaphragm at the bottom of your rib cage to push down into your internal organs. And as you exhale, control it back up. Relax your face. Again, you should be in a very comfortable position. The stretch should not feel uncomfortable. It should not cause you to feel tension through your whole body. If you do feel that, go ahead and back out of it a little bit or until you feel some relief. So stretching should be all about feeling good. All right, we'll go ahead and find some movement there and bring it back to the middle. Maybe give a little shake out. And then we'll straighten that leg and let it drop out. Open up to the side, to the left. And again, you can find some bend or some straighten, just depending on how it feels for you. Think about turning the toe out, turning the toe in, get a little bounce, bounce, circles. Drop it down, lift it up. And once you find a good spot to sit, we'll go ahead and, I was gonna say pop squat right there, but we're not sitting anywhere. Just pause right there. Get some deep breaths. Again, working on expanding our breath. lengthening those inhales and exhales, finding relaxation in all phases of our breath. Enjoying how our body feels as we stretch it and relax it. Alright, go ahead and find some movement. Bend it if you need to. Bring it back to the middle. And then we'll go into that butt stretch. So, however you want to do it. If you liked to do it with the strap, if you like to do it with your other leg involved, up to you. So we're gonna take the left heel to the right knee and then grab the back of the right leg and pull the shin to the chest. Think about taking that left elbow and using it to push the left knee away from our body. Using the right knee to pull the left ankle towards our left shoulder. Relaxing the shoulders down to the floor. Trying to unroll your tailbone onto the mat without lifting your back up off the mat. And maybe a windshield wipe. Oh yeah. The knee back and forth or the shin back and forth. And then finding a good spot to sit. So if you just like right down the middle, maybe a little bit to the left, maybe a little bit to the right, whatever feels good. And then we'll find a moment of relaxation here. Releasing tension in the forehead, tension in the shoulders. Alright, we'll go ahead and find our way back to the middle. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit. Uncross the legs. Maybe get a little bounce. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little side to side, massage your lower back. Oh, sure. No problem. Okay, what I like to do is I like to get, like, I'm going to a glute bridge. Okay, feet on flat on the ground. And then knees bent, hips on the ground. I'm gonna place my hands at the base of my femur towards my hips. And then I'm going to push my palms. So get a really nice wide grip. Thumbs on the inside of your thighs, fingers on the outside. And we're gonna start to straighten the arms and push against the hips, push against the thigh. And what that does, you want to go really gently. It's going to start to create a little bit of traction, which is just some space in between your vertebrae. So again, be very gentle with this, because when you create space, you're opening up some good things, but you're also exposing some bad things. Okay, so if you have uneven hips, you might find that you get a pop or two, or a cranky muscle. So just be nice and gentle. We'll just kind of push with the right, push with the left, back and forth. Big deep breath. Fill that area, the lower back, sciatic area, with oxygen. And exhale, relax, and release the tension. Maybe give the knees a little wobble back and forth. Then we're gonna do one more stretch. Grab the strap again. And then we're gonna take the loop and we're gonna put it around our foot. So we're gonna go towards our belly, but we'll be on our side right now. Put the loop around your foot. We're gonna roll to the front on our bellies, and then we're gonna stretch out the front of the hip and the quad here. Oh boy. Every time I move, it's like she's like, oh, she's ready to pet me. And every time I pet her, she's like, oh, this is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Oh gosh. I'm sweaty and sticky too, so I'm gonna have cat hair all over me. All right, so here we wanna think about squeezing the hips forward with our glutes. We wanna maybe try to lift the knee off the ground. See how that feels. Maybe put it back down. Take your hand so that your foot goes outside of your body and then towards the inside of your body, midline. Maybe rest your head on the ground if that feels good. I like to internally and externally rotate from here. So again, what that means is just twisting from my hip, but taking my heel to the right and to the left. And then when we find a spot, you guessed it, we're gonna hold it. So I'm gonna hold my foot out just a little bit. Start to work that internal rotation. And then again, just relax your hips to the ground. Relax your glutes. Relax your quads. Relax your shoulders. Big deep breaths. I love laying on my stomach and taking big deep breaths because then my stomach pushes up against the floor, which one helps me work on strengthening my diaphragm and my abs. So as I inhale, I'm pressing against a force that's resisting my push. So it's strengthening those muscles that inhale. And it also helps, again, massage those internal organs. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Soul out there, no one to hear my prayer. Okay, into the stretch we go. Same thing. Maybe squeeze your hips and lift your knee. See how that feels. Windshield wipe your foot to the outside, keeping your hips on the ground. Windshield wipe your foot to the other side. Relax your head down to the mat and find your spot. And find a couple breaths here. Again, relaxing the hips down to the mat. Relaxing the shoulders out of the ears. Relaxing into internal rotation or external rotation, however you decided to pause. Alright, we'll go ahead and release that foot. And then to wrap us up, go ahead and put your hands underneath your shoulders, thumbs by your armpits, and then we're just going to slowly peel ourselves up off the mat. So squeeze your booty and then start to lift your head. Squeeze your lower back, start to lift your chest. Squeeze your rib cage off. And then just slowly start to press up. Open up the front side of those hips. Maybe rock them back and forth. Lift the left one, lift the right one. Look over your right shoulder, look over your left shoulder. And then we're gonna push back into child's pose. Rock it back and forth just a little bit. And then come up, do a little cat-cow, just to create some more movement in your spine. Exhale up, inhale down, side to side. Get a little movement. All right, tuck those toes. We're gonna walk it up. Hamstring stretch, slowly work up to standing, especially after we just worked out and then laid down. We're gonna wanna work up to standing kind of slow. A little shift side to side. Again, starting to bring movement back. So we wanna find stillness, but then we wanna amp ourselves up to get back to whatever our next task is, even if it's sitting at a desk. So bend the knees, straighten the knees, and then we'll slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Let the arms dangle. Keep the legs bent or the knees bent. Find a good centered position, so weight in the center of your feet. All four corners of your feet should feel pressure. So I have been finding myself leaning back a lot into my heels, but I've started to try to bend my knees and shift forward a little bit, let my toes do some of the work. So just something to think about as you go about your day. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, calming down after your little workout, whatever it may have been, or if you're just in the middle of your day and wanted to stretch, it's also a good way to do it. So have a lovely rest of your day. Peace. Let's see if we can get her to say anything for the camera. Willis, what do you have to say? Let me see if I can get her purr. She didn't want anything to do with it.